Welcome to AC 24/7. I'm Aaron Dean. A deal between Israel, Hamas, and the United States is in the works. It involves Hamas releasing 50 women and children hostages in exchange for a pause in fighting and 3 Palestinian prisoners for every hostage released. The Advocate Channel's Laura Aguirre has the latest.
Cautious optimism, the emotion of the day, as the families of those held hostage by Hamas wait for word of a possible exchange deal. Among them, the aunt of 3-year-old Abigail Eden, the youngest American hostage.
Friday is Abigail's 4th birthday. She should be home with her family and with her sister and brother, and she isn't right now.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with troops Tuesday as the highly anticipated hostage deal makes its way through several government channels. Sources close to the negotiations tell CNN the agreement would include Hamas releasing 50 women and children hostages if Israel agrees to a multi-day pause in the fighting and releases 3 Palestinian prisoners for each 1 civilian hostage freed. Hamas also demands that Israel stop flying drones over Gaza for 6 hours daily. President Joe Biden optimistic but guarded Tuesday about the negotiations.
We're now very close, very close. We could bring some of these hostages home very soon.
Still, the airstrikes continue. The Israel Defense Forces confirming Hamas targets were hit in northern Gaza Tuesday, a difficult backdrop for delicate deal-making.
It won't be a half-an-hour meeting and a vote. It'll be a long debate in the government.
A long debate that will be watched by many families who are short on patience.
Stop talking about killing Arabs. Talk about saving Jews. This is your job.
I'm Laura Aguirre reporting.
A federal appeals court has ruled against the key tool used to enforce the Voting Rights Act. The 8th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals in Arkansas ruled that private entities cannot bring lawsuits under Section 2 of the law. It supports a 2022 ruling that only the Justice Department can bring Section 2 lawsuits, but that ruling goes against decades of legal practice. It could also set up another Supreme Court showdown. The Voting Rights Act bans election rules that have the effect of discriminating on the basis of race. The Supreme Court has struck down an appeal from the officer convicted in George Floyd's death. Derek Chauvin's lawyers are claiming he did not receive a fair trial. They say jurors have had a vested interest against acquitting Chauvin. The Supreme Court rejected Chauvin's appeal without comment or recorded vote. Veterinarians are investigating a mysterious illness infecting dogs across the U.S. Oregon officials reporting more than 200 cases. Nearby Washington State is also reporting some cases. The symptoms include coughing, sneezing, runny nose, and eyes and fatigue. And researchers say that it is resistant to standard treatments. Authorities are warning dog owners to make sure that their pets are up to date on their vaccines. As Thanksgiving approaches, there are plenty of talks about what's on the menu and who will be bringing what. Google has released a list of the most searched side dishes for every state. And in many states, people seem to love casseroles. The most searched overall casserole was green bean casserole. However, some states like Hawaii, Kansas, and Wyoming searched for more unique side dishes like bruschetta, cucumber salad, and creamy polenta. But don't worry, sweet potato casserole is on the top of the list in states like Florida, Michigan, and Oklahoma, where cornbread is on the top of the list in VA. Thanks so much for joining us for AC 24/7. For more, go to theadvocatechannel.com and subscribe on the Advocate Channel YouTube page. For the Advocate Channel, I'm Aaron Dean.